Good morning, Elasmere boys. Today we will start a new section of Java related to operators and expression. In computer programming, you often need to perform some kind of arithmetical or logical operation. In such circumstances, you need operators to perform these tasks. Okay? Thus, an operator is basically a symbol or a token which performs the arithmetical or logical operations and gives meaningful result. The values which are involved in operation are termed as operands. As you can see in the slide, the variable result A, B and C, variable result is the where we are storing the result or output, and A, B, C on which we are working, they are the operands, and the sign plus, the sign star are known as operator. There are two operators. There are basically two operators. Operator 1, which is a plus sign, and operator 2, which is a star sign, and three operands A, B and C. This is basically another arithmetical statement you can say. Okay? And if I write just this, it will be termed as arithmetical expression. Now, let's look what are the operators we have in Java. We have the operators as arithmetic operators, logical operators, next unary operators, assignment operators, ternary operators, relational operators, and we have bitwise operator and shift operator. Out of them, shift and bitwise is not in your syllabus, so we will look at rest of them one by one. Let's first move to the arithmetic operators. Arithmetic operators are mainly deal with the arithmetical symbols like addition, plus, subtraction, minus, multiplication with a star sign, division with a slash sign, and modulus, which will give you the remainder basically. That remainder will come into the with the percent sign. With the percent sign. If I look at any expression, I will see three set of expression. This three set of expression is being termed as infix, prefix and postfix depending on the position of the operator. If the operator is present in between the operand, then it is known as infix because it is in between. If the operator is present before the operand, then it is prefix, and if the operator is present after the operand, then it is known as postfix. This prefix and postfix operators are basically present in two forms. One is plus plus, another is minus minus. So we have prefix which is plus plus, also minus minus. Similarly postfix which is plus plus and minus minus. if I look carefully, then I would get to see that in this case, the plus plus is present at the front of the operand x, okay? And here the minus minus is also present at the front of the operand x. But in case of postfix, the plus plus is present after the operand x. Similarly, in postfix, the minus minus is also present after the operand x. So in prefix, the plus plus and the minus minus will be at the front, and for postfix, it will be at the end. What it exactly means? Whenever I am dealing with prefix, if it is a plus plus sign, that point out that the value is being incremented by 1. And similarly for a postfix also, but with a slight difference. Same, if I am talking about minus minus, it means the value has been decremented by 1, only by 1, but same for prefix postfix with a slight change. Now we will look for what this change is. Okay. So as I said earlier, I am checking that same as now. If it is a plus plus operator, whenever it will be before the operand, it will be known as pre-increment. Pre-increment means increment is going at the first, and if it is at the end, it will be post-increment. It means the increment will be later. Similarly, if there is a minus minus which is stating before x, then the decrement will be first, but if it is stated at the end, then the decrement will be later. Let's see what is the basic difference and how we are computing it. It is prefix versus postfix. So in prefix notation, the increments work first and then we get fetches the value. So supposedly if currently my value of x is 5 and I make it plus plus x, it will be incremented by 1. So right now my value will going to be 6. But if it is a postfix notation 5 and I make it x plus plus, then right now my value of y will be 5 only. Later on, maybe whenever we will use x, the value will change to 6. But currently we are using the x only one time, so the value will remain same. It is the post increment. Okay. So post, as it is a post increment, so right now the notation first fetches the value, then it will increment. But here it will first increment because it is a pre-increment, and then the value we will use. So what we got to know, that right now for pre-increment, for prefix, the increment will be right now, and for post-increment, the increment will be in the later part, not right now. Let's look at other assignments, other operators, sorry. So we have, apart from that, assignment operator, which is equal to, if I write a equal to 10, it means right now the value of a is 10. If I write a equal to a plus 1, which means whatever the earlier value of a was there, I am also incrementing the value of a with value of 1. Okay. This can be written in also in the shorthand form. What is the shorthand form? This. A plus equal to n, which actually means what? A equal to a plus n. So suppose here it is written a equal to a by n plus 1. If I want to write it in a shorter form, I would have written a by equal to n plus 1. So that is the shorthand operator. We have to do the work of conditional operator, where there will be an expression, a condition, and a true part, which is a true part, and the rest next section will going to be a false part. And we are currently dealing with increment operator, which is prefix, and the postfix. Let's look at some other operators like relational operators, where which are constituting of greater than sign, less than sign, greater than equal to, less than equal to, equal to, and also exclamation mark equal to. All these comparisons give us the result in the form of Boolean value, that is true and false. 5 is greater than 2. The result is false. 5 is less than 2. The result is false. 5 is greater than 2. Yes, the result is true. So in that way, we are 5 is equal to 2. No, false. So every time we are getting the results in the case of Boolean data type, true and false. Apart from that, we have logical operators, which are and, or, and not. And means that in between both the condition has to be true to get the result as in the true. Okay, both the condition has to be true. In OR operator, if any one of the condition is true, then my result will come as true. In all the cases, my result will come as true. And not means whatever the value or condition we will get, we will give the opposite, we have to follow. The opposite, exactly the result will come out. Let's look at some other section of Java, which is very important, related to some math classes in Java. These math classes in Java are basically a program with a set of instruction given to a computer to perform some mathematical function work automatically. We will look forward this math classes. The first one that we will do over here is math.sqrt. Remember, the M is in capital. The result will always come into the fractional part, so that is why it is coming in double. What it does, it find out the square root of any positive number. Sometime it can. So 25 will give me the square root as 5.0. Mat.minimum, which will, the return type will depend on the argument. What is argument? Argument means what we write inside the bracket. Whatever we write inside this bracket is known as argument. Here 25 and 56 are argument, as both of them are int data type. That is why my result will also be in int. But when I am comparing two fractional values, the result will come also in the fraction. Similarly, math.max, which means finding the maximum number out of them. And two examples is being given. Out of 6.5 and 1.5, the greater maximum number is 1.5. Math.pow, the return is always in fractional value. See, the math.pow can give a negative power calculation, which is giving me the result as 0.04. The math.abs, very important. It returns the absolute value without any sign. It means if I pass on plus 98, it will give me the result as 98. If I pass on negative value as minus to 0, it will give me the result as 2.0. Next, we will move forward to the next function, that is math.round. It will return also in double the round of value to the nearest integer depending on what is after the precision. If it is 6.25, 25 is lesser than 2 is lesser than 5. So that is why it is rounding off to the lowest integer. But if it is 6.85, then it is rounding off to the higher integer. Please remember, in case of a negative number, minus 6.0 is the higher value, okay, than 6.85, okay, not 7. So for negative number, be careful. We have to lower down the value to get the greater value. Math.floor, as the name suggests over here, floor points out flooring. Always remember that. Floor points out the flooring. It means we are number it down by the nearest integer, whatever it is. So 1.25 will become 1.0, 9.85 will become 9.0, and in case of a negative number, remember the higher the value is, more the lower. So over here minus 7.0 it will become. Next, math.ceil, just the opposite. It is pointing to the ceiling of another of a roof. So the value will go up. 1.25 will become 2.0. 9.85 will become 10.0. Similarly, be careful for a negative number. It will round off to the higher integer. Apart from that, we have some trigonometrical functions like math.sin, cos and tan, which are also give me fractional value and give me the respective values of a given angle. Suppose here I have taken 45 degree. So the math.sin of 45 degree will return me what? This fractional value. Math.exp will give me the exponential value e to the power x. I can pass on only one single value. It is not e math.pow. It is only e to the power x. So only the value of x we need to pass on. And as per that, the calculation will come. It is also a fractional value. Come to the part of math.random. And when we were doing the math.random, it is also giving value in fraction. And this fractional value will give me any random number in between the 0 and 1. In between the 0 and 1. And math.random output is always different every time when it executed. Okay. So if I call right now math.random, it is giving me a fractional value this. It may be changes in the next time. Okay. Using this, we can write some of the expressions. These are very important, comes in the ICSE question. Let's look at to the left side mathematical expression, and while programmatical wise, how do I write them? So if it is 2a by b plus c, in the Java we actually write them as 2 into a divided by b plus c within a bracket. It is very important to put brackets and separate them whenever it is required. Similarly, 4 by a minus 1 plus pi sine divided by 3ab. So it is coming by as 4 in the Java expression, 4 by a minus 1 plus math.pi, which is a direct function I am using. You can write 3.14 if you want to use, that is also okay, divided by 3, and here there is a mistake, it will be 3 into a into b, okay, and put it that inside a bracket. Now this sign, please remember the up sign, which is this is known as math.abs, okay, and along with that we have math.sqrt 5 into x and exponential power of 3. So they did it in this way. I would prefer you to write as math.exp and in the right bracket you write 3. Okay. Next one, again 2r, so 2 into r, and this particular sign which is pointing to 93/10x, this sign which means that we can give the approximate higher fractional value. So x with 9.3 they make it directly because it is 93/10. If you want, you can just keep it like same like that. Okay. And if you want, you can use math.sil or may not use it. R square by 3 AC to the power of 3/4. So, okay, the same way, see, it is given by 3/4 and at the bottom 2 into b. See how it has been separated with the brackets. Please do copy each and every one of them. Here are some more examples I have given. I would prefer you to copy all of them and write it in a practice so that I can give some more homework to use the mathematical functions and to work on it, how to write them inside a Java expression. Thank you for the class. As I keep saying, in this pandemic situation, please maintain social distancing and stay safe.